Right, all of that to come. But first, let's get the latest news headlines with Zora Suleiman. Welcome back. A schoolboy who was stabbed to death by a friend was unlawfully killed. That's the outcome of a second inquest. 17 years. Remind us of the case and what happened and how today that story's changed.
Drives a knife into his heart. He's then acquits Mulner of both murder and of manslaughter. Now, as I said earlier on, it's been pure heartache for the family.
It's a small bit, you get the impression of justice for that family who clearly have believed for over 4 years that the original ruling was not correct. What then happens next?
However, Greater Manchester Police have come out with a statement of the facts.
Ollie, thank you so much. Lots to come here. After the break, we've got the latest on the war between Israel and Hamas. Hospitals in Gaza stop all now, but emergency services as fuel runs out. I'm Rosie Wright, sitting in for Vanessa Feltz, and you're with Talk. We're on your TV, radio, online, and your smart speaker. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. The healthcare system in Gaza, we've talked about it extensively on the programme this week. It is said now, though, to be completely out of service and is a state of for Vanessa Feltz, and you're with Talk on TV, radio, online, and on your smart speaker. Welcome back to the programme. Now, a team of British astronauts will go to space for the first time ever in a project that's been developed. You disagree?
Well, I think...
Very politely put, Charlie.
Right to move. Which I think you're going to be remarkably stable and sensible.
I think the public do want a bit of clarity, and they want to know those clear divides.
Do start to come forward, where you might start to see more scrutiny under the Labour Party, where they might be born.
We'll wait and see. And who knows? It could be, you know, January 2025 when we all go to the ballot boxes and mark that it is sufficient enough to be able to handle when people use it for malicious means.
Well, it's going to replace 300 million jobs. So we need to look at economics on that sort of basis. Grimes, the artist, turned around and said, look, she'll share copyright with...
Welcome back to the programme. Now, vegans rejoice. The amount of meat being eaten in the UK has hit the lowest level since records began in the 70s. But it's not necessarily for ethical or... Good afternoon. So what's going on? The population are eating less meat than we were sort of, you know, 40, 50 years...
...to, and, you know, consumers around the UK are meat. And it's not even, you know, a climate change thing necessarily. A lot...
...hit on the budget. In your kind of household, in your weekly shop, you know, do you aim to have kind of any meat-free days? Look at the price of food and say, look, actually, even if you're doing it sort of quickly, this is getting more expensive. Maybe actually the steak, I'm not going to buy that. Welcome back. Now, back in November of 2019, Steve Gallant was a prisoner serving a life sentence. Thank you so much. Look, when there's terror instance, we often have this thing called a light bulb moment where we all remember where we were, when we heard about it, when we found out about it. For you, this must be emblazoned on your memory. Just take us back to that day at Fishmongers Hall, why you were there, and then when you realised something is critically going wrong here.
Surreal, you know, you know, but I think it was an information overload.
I mean, what's going through your mind now? You're still serving life, and the reason that you were in prison in the first place, really, and, you know, the experience of what happened on that day. Why?
That's, I think there's a lot of stuff there which I think is very important and deserves to be shared with.
Tell us.
Well, I mean, the motive was in for revenge, and the influences that are around them obviously led them to behave in the way that they have, and I can see it definitely.
And say, I've done something heinous, horrific, but there is a chance for someone like you to... We've come to the end of the show. It has been a real pleasure. Thank you for tuning in. Please do join me at the same time tomorrow. Vanessa will be back next week, but you're stuck with me for another day or so. Up next, though, here on Talk TV, is Prime Time with Rosanna Lockwood. Do stay tuned for that. I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.